And so we've looked at 74 dissertation chapters this year. And so if you think about that in terms of page numbers, that's over 1,500 pages of dissertations that we have read through this calendar year. And this is not even including the month of December. If you want to finish, now's the time to get into the season of no. And so I struggle with this myself because I'm someone I love to help people. That's why I have a business that helps people. I'm a college professor where I help people as an instructor. But I recognize that sometimes that I'm actually in that season of no where I have to really be mindful about what opportunities I take on. We all go into the dissertation process thinking that the work is writing, sitting at the computer, typing, doing all those things. But I want you to know the actual work is up here first. Can you imagine it? Another year has gone by, and I just want to say thank you so much for being part of the Done Dissertation community and allowing me to be part of your journey to finishing your doctoral program. With that said, on this episode of From ABD to PhD Show, we're going to do our year in review, where I want to share with you all some insights about the success that our clients have had while working with us in our Velocity coaching program. And at the end of this episode, stay tuned because I'm going to talk about 5 lessons that I've taken away in 2024 that are going to help to propel you with your dissertation in 2025. And if you don't know who I am, if you're just tuning in for the first time, my name is Dr. Ramon Goings. I'm a college professor and founder of Done Dissertation. And our goal at Done Dissertation is to help you write and defend your dissertation in 1 year or less. If you are someone who is in need of support and you're interested in learning more about how we can help you get to the finish line and finish your dissertation, you should definitely look into our Velocity coaching program, which is a coaching experience dedicated to help really take the mystery out of the process and help you write and successfully defend your dissertation. So if you'd like to learn more, you can go to www.velocitydissertation.com. With that said, today's episode is dedicated to our year in review. And so what I want to do first is just kind of give you a glimpse into what we've been able to do with our clients and what we're going to do as a company this year. So you can just see the impact we're trying to have and have been having this year within higher education. And so with that, let's get into the material in terms of our year in review. So when we think about this, the first thing I want you all to know and understand about what we'll be able to do this year is in terms of the number of graduates. One thing that we are extremely proud of at Done Dissertation are the students that we've been able to help in our programming. And so as you will see here, so far at the time of this recording, in terms of the data that I have access to is through mid-November of 2024. So we have about like maybe 10 more students who will be added to this number probably by the end of the actual year. But so far, we've had 15 students successfully earn their doctoral degree in 2024 who have been a client of ours. And we also have another 11 students who have successfully defended the dissertation proposal or the equivalent, because I don't know if you all recognize, there are a lot of doctoral programs that either don't require students to do a dissertation proposal defense. Some have different milestones along the journey. And so for those 11 students, they are in that group who have reached that part of the process where at this point, all that's left between them and finishing their dissertation is actually conducting the research and defending their final research. In terms of our program, because in Velocity, we do coaching calls with our clients. And so this year we've done 50 coaching calls. And so if you think about what the year entails, that means we worked and seen our clients every week this year. And the only 2 weeks that we won't have will be the last 2 weeks of the year for the Christmas and New Year holiday because we are closed. But other than that, we've been with our clients every week this year. Sometimes extremely proud because we really love to support our folks. Shout out to Dr. Varela, who is one of our coaches at Done Dissertation, has really been instrumental in making sure our students and clients really are successful in their program. Also, if you see the number of chapters reviewed, this is what I'm extremely proud of because one of the things we do in our Velocity coaching program is actually review our students' work. So our goal is to help work in tandem with the student in their dissertation committee so that folks who work with us get insights and feedback on their work before it gets to their chair so that when their chair gets it, it's as best quality as it can be before they have their feedback. And so we've looked at 74 dissertation chapters this year. And so if you think about that in terms of page numbers, that's over 1,500 pages of dissertations that we have read through this calendar year. And this is not even including the month of December. Our folks are cranking. One of the things I really appreciate about our Velocity clients is that when they come into the community and once they get the clarity and insight they need, they execute. Because one thing that I will guarantee, you won't finish your dissertation if you are afraid to execute. And so that's one of the things that I'm so proud of our clients. And then also as part of our program, we do writing groups. And so we hold these every day, weekly, daily writing groups. And so we've had 220 hours of writing group time for our participants in our program over the course of this calendar year. So I'm extremely proud of what some of our clients have been able to do. I'm going to share with you all some about who they are and show you pictures about them so you can hear more about what they've been able to do here in a sec. But I want to share with you all some of the other insights and things we've been able to do at Done Dissertation this year. And so another thing I want you to see here is that in 2024, we've actually, and again, this is not for the entire year yet, we have provided over 86 doctoral students with complimentary consultations. So you might have noticed that at sometimes during the episodes, you may see a graphic that pops up here like this that says, hey, to schedule a complimentary consultation. So people do take action on that and actually schedule one. And we want to make sure that if we can't help you, we put you in place with another provider or someone else to get you the help that you need. But we are here to provide that resource for you. So if you're someone who does need help, just scan the QR code or go to www.velocitydissertation.com to learn more about our program and how we can help you. So we have talked with over 86 doctoral students, and that's in addition to a number of folks who have reached out and sent inquiries in. That's into the hundreds of students, right? And with that, in terms of the content we've been able to do, one of the things that I think is in part of our goal is to get content that's accessible to you all in a mass. And one way we can do that is by doing video content like this. And so this year, I recorded 47 episodes of From ABD to PhD show. So typically my schedule, I try to do this and have an episode come out every week. And so that's been my goal. And I've just about gotten to that. Sometimes we take weeks off when we have calendar months with 5 weeks. So I usually try to do 4 episodes per month. But this is in addition to, I've done other episodes from our other show called Office Hours, where we interview folks who have earned a doctorate about what they've been able to do with it. So we've done plenty of episodes on that. So in total, I probably recorded over 100 episodes of content this particular year. In terms of social media output, over 1,000 posts across our platforms. And if you haven't tuned in, you're not locked in with us yet. If you're watching us on YouTube, do me a favor right now, hit the subscribe button and notification bell, because at the time of this recording, we are so close to getting to 1,000 subscribers. And so my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. And as of right now, when I'm talking with you all, we are at 959. So what you could do is if you watch us at any point, whether regardless is after the year ends, whatever, please hit the subscribe button. That'll be extremely helpful. And if you're watching us on other platforms, make sure you follow us on there as well. We're very active on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. And TikTok as well. So make sure that you reach out and connect with us on those platforms. And then what I really value is that we've added so many new students to our text message community and our email community, because one of the things is that I value your time. And as a company, we want to provide you all with great content that's actionable, but then also just make sure you have access to various resources. And so we do different workshops and things like that. And so the way you know about these things first is that you become part of our text message and or email community. And so we've added 500 plus members to that community this year, which is so exciting. I've just seen our text subscriber list grow tremendously, and to be able to reach out to you all. And then on those texts, if you're part of our community, I do actually respond. Something I see everybody's information. I see when you text, and myself or someone on the team, we do look at them, we do respond, because we want to stay in communication with you. Because, we know on YouTube or on LinkedIn, sometimes in this route, when you see us on video, it's just a one-way communication channel. So we want to make sure that we have and are able to talk with you all. So please feel free to reach out to us. We are accessible. Make sure you hit us up. And if you're not part of that community quite yet, there's a couple things that you can do to become part of it. And so one of those things is you can definitely grab our training, which is called Elevate Your Academic Writing. And so if you want access to that training, you can scan the QR code that is here on your screen, or you can go to www.thedonedissertation.com/elevate. And you will see it. And I'll bring up the link here so you have, if you just need to write it down or jot it down real quick, just so you have access to the link and can get access to this free training. So by registering for the training, you'll become part of our email community. If you do provide your cell phone number, you can become part of our text message community as well. And again, I do reach out. You all have been extremely helpful in some initiatives and things that we've been running at Done Dissertation. And we usually reach out to you all first when we want ideas about content that's related to the things you all want to hear about. So make sure that you join our community. And so again, I'm extremely proud of what we'll be able to do this year. And again, I hope that you become part of our community and lock in with us. And so with this, I want to share with you all a little bit more in terms of what we were able to do and what we're working on this year. And so one of the things that we do in addition to the content is that we actually do workshops and trainings with universities and your doctoral programs. And so what I've been able to do this year is that in total we've done 23 workshops that we've hosted, and then I've also gone out to other universities and held classroom talks. So if if you know a professor that maybe your chair, you can send this information so that we can come to your university and do workshops and things with you all. We do value that. We do love working with students, and we love to get in front of more doctoral programs because we know we can help you all get those actionable strategies that you can implement. So if you want to do more of that, please feel free to reach out to us on our social media platforms. We can set something up. And then with that, the book 14 Secrets to a Done Dissertation, it's a quick, actionable book that can help you get to the finish line. We've been able so far this year, we've sold over 200 copies of that particular volume. And I'm extremely proud of that because, as an independent author, this is something that, we've been trying to, teach more from. It's really an easy, action-packed, actionable guide that helps doctoral students really understand the psychology of what's going on. Because when you are going through the process, sometimes it can get somewhat confusing. Like, how do I think through this? Or what are my faculty asking me? And so that's what I did and put into this short, quick, actionable book for doctoral students. And so this is something that if you find that you want access to, I'll put a QR code up on the screen here in a little bit. So if you want access to the book, you can get your copy there. It's $24.99. Make sure you put that in. And probably by the time you're getting this, probably is a promotion that's running, so you might not even pay shipping on it. So if you want access to that, make sure you grab that. And if you want, tell your university about it, and we can connect with them to have them purchase copies for your program. We get a lot of doctoral programs that reach out to us to get copies of the book for all their students. And so with that, again, I'm just so extremely proud of what we've been able to do with the impact of that book this year. But then also that book came out in 2021. And so far we sold over 2,500 copies of that book. And it's been adopted as actual course text for a number of doctoral programs, over 10 in the United States. And so I'm extremely proud of that. Something as an idea I birthed and put into a document, and then to see the impact of the work. And if you're someone who have read the book, let me know in the comments. I'm always interested to hear from folks who have read it. And if you haven't yet, just leave us a testimonial or a review of the book on Amazon, because I know a lot of folks go on Amazon to purchase the books. And so make sure that you drop your review there. And then with that said, one of the things I do want to share with you all, and you all may have started to see it because if you're part of our community, you know that we have announced and we have our newest book that is getting ready to come out in 2025. And this book is actually for your dissertation chair. It's called The Finish System, a Dissertation Chair's Guide to Supporting Doctoral Students from Start to Defense. You all helped me out tremendously with this book. And so part of it, if you were part of our social media community, in our text message community or email community, you might have got an email from us or a text message or a post that asked, hey, help me choose the cover. And so this cover that's here was actually the cover that was most selected across all the platforms. Like over 78% of folks who saw all the options for book covers chose this particular book cover. So I just want to say thank you all so much for giving us some insight into what you all wanted to see. And if you want access to pre-order and order your book, you can go to www.thedonedissertation.com/finish. You can get access to the book there. If you go on our main website, you'll see where it says book and courses, and you can go ahead and click on the link to grab a pre-order copy, or depending on when you're watching this video, the book will be out. And so make sure that you grab a copy for your faculty members. And if not, send them the link so they can purchase a copy for themselves. It could be something that you just say, hey, I saw this resource and I thought it'd be great. You might be interested in this, and just send it their way. Because again, we want to help both students and faculty, and we're doing trainings around this as well. So, as we're thinking about that, I do want to take a minute and moment to actually introduce you all to some of our 2024 dissertation completers. So this is not everyone pictured because we didn't have access to everyone's image to use this in this video, but I want to share with you all and tell you all about some of our graduates because they are phenomenal. And so first, I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Levada Washington, who successfully defended her dissertation and is earning her doctorate in education from the Ohio State University. Dr. Washington worked with us during the summer of 2024. And shout out to Dr. Washington because she came in and literally had her data and finished out her dissertation in it was 5.5 weeks. She had a deadline of finishing by sometime in July, and she started working on this in June. It doesn't take long, but Dr. Washington is a testament to what it means to just put in that consistent effort to finish that dissertation quickly. So shout out to Dr. Washington. We are so extremely proud of what you've been able to do and the work and the impact that you're going to have in the field. And so the next one up is Dr. Teresa Henry. Shout out to Dr. Henry. Dr. Henry earned her doctorate and PhD in economics from the University of Washington. Super phenomenal researcher doing work on financial inclusion. It just phenomenal. And Dr. Henry was similar to Dr. Washington, who had a tight deadline and was working, and literally knocked this rest of her dissertation out in a couple of weeks. And if you haven't yet watched it, you can go back on our YouTube channel, and we actually interviewed Dr. Henry in last week's episode from ABD to PhD show, talking about her journey, because I just thought it was phenomenal what she was able to do and how she went about doing it. And so make sure that you reach out to Dr. Henry, because she's doing great work. Next up is Dr. Nathan Webb. Shout out to Dr. Nathan Webb, who is going to earn his doctorate in educational leadership from William Patterson University. Dr. Webb, I'm so excited for his work because he's a fellow music educator. So my background, I used to be a music teacher. And so I really valued Dr. Webb's research. And he was looking at the impact of a DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging policy in the state of New Jersey, and its influence on how it impacted music educators who were in a district that did not have a direct music education supervisor. Super unique study, really thoughtful in this particular study. So I really think that he's going to have some, really impactful work with his research. Next up is Dr. Tina Flores. Shout out to Dr. Tina Flores, who successfully defended her dissertation and is earning her doctorate in business administration from Capella University. And she is an HR recruiter. And so her research looked at some work around the emotional intelligence of like HR recruiters in the healthcare industry. So how emotional intelligence influences like the hiring process. Super unique study. Someone to kind of keep your eye open, and she's super phenomenal. Like, check out Dr. Flores on LinkedIn. She's always busy and active on there. So definitely reach out to Dr. Flores. And we interviewed her on a prior episode of the show as well. So if you go back in the archive, you can find her episode as well, because she's mom of 6 and like got this thing done. And Dr. Flores finished her whole dissertation. So we started working with her at the beginning. She started, I think it was in January of 24, and she defended her dissertation in October. And actually, it might have been September, October 24, 9-10 months in and out. Phenomenal. I mean, Dr. Flores was moving through this process, let me tell you. We're so excited about what she's been able to do. Next up is Dr. Jessie Desir. Shout out to Dr. Desir, who earned her PhD in nursing from Barry University. And Dr. Desir's work is so impactful because it's related to, as a clinician, she wanted to explore the impact of folks who have gynecological cancer and its impact on sexuality after treatment. It was just a very unique phenomenological study. I thought her methodology was really, really unique. And the way she approached it was helpful, because my own dissertation, I use phenomenology. I just love the way that she put her writing together, and the narratives that she told of these participants was phenomenal. Next up, shout out to Dr. Constance Clark, who earned her doctorate in education, and I think it's educational policy from Teachers College, Columbia University. Her research looked at a particular policy on tracking in North Carolina. And so her study was a case study and looked at interviewed politicians, educators. Like, it's very comprehensive study about how she looked at this particular policy issue. And so shout out to Dr. Clark. And now is working, I believe, in the higher education space as a postdoctoral researcher. And so this is super excited about what Dr. Clark is now doing with her dissertation. Then from there, shout out to Dr. Wantisa Hughes. Dr. Hughes has such a unique story. There will be an episode with myself and Dr. Hughes to talk about her journey, because imagine if you were a doctoral student and you were going through the process, and right before a defense, your university closes down. Now, imagine if that happened twice. I just stayed silent there for a reason. That's the experience Dr. Hughes had, and still finished. So it's not about, you not finishing. It's about how much are you willing to give in order to finish. And Dr. Hughes has such a phenomenal story about finishing, and super excited for her. And her dissertation looked at the the influence of like the ceiling for Black women in law enforcement. Again, interesting study, and her doctorate in interdisciplinary studies from Antioch University. And next up is Dr. Marsha Anderson Bomar. Dr. Bomar is the epitome of just a phenomenal person who is using their research to impact the work that they do. Dr. Bomar was actually someone who led the transportation system of a metropolitan city, a large one at that. And so Dr. Bomar's work in focus on issues around transit for younger folks in terms of their use of transit in cities. And so Dr. Bomar is earning their doctorate in civil engineering from the University of Georgia. Super unique study. If you're in the engineering and civil engineering space, you probably know Dr. Bomar. At least she's the president of one of the organizations, main research organizations or disciplinary organizations. And so you probably come across her work if you're in that engineering space. Again, I just love the clients that we get to talk about and have, because they are, again, just great people and folks who have done amazing work. And then our last one that we'll have pictured here, and I'll name some of the other folks, is Dr. Tammy Lane. Dr. Lane is earning her doctorate in educational leadership from Prairie View A&M University. Did a great qualitative study looking at the experiences of LGBTQ plus students at HBCUs and what their experiences were. Again, those are just some of our graduates from this year. Not everyone is pictured. Again, we have some phenomenal folks. And so I want to name some other people who are not pictured, just to give them a shout out as well. So over this year, we have also had, I'm going through my list right now, we've also had Dr. Davina Ware, who successfully defended her dissertation at Ashland University in educational leadership. Shout out to Dr. Terrell Cheney, defended his dissertation back in March 2024 from Trevecca Nazarene University in education. Let's see, who else am I missing here? Let's see, Dr. Dana Marshall, who successfully defended her dissertation. At the time of this recording, it was literally yesterday. And so shout out to Dr. Marshall for successfully defending her dissertation at Auburn University. Shout out to Dr. Jondre Jennings, who defended her dissertation at Morgan State University. And then let's see, I'm going through my list. And for folks who defended their proposals, shout out to Denise Joseph, University of Maryland College Park, Seneca Troutman, Valdosta State University, Roy Montgomery, let's see, Sharon Butler, Trinity Johnson at Louisiana State, Karen Juper, who have defended and will be in Texas. Let's see, sorry, I'm going through my list. Michelle Wilson, shout out to you, Kanisha Puckett, and again, Stephanie Anderson, who successfully defended her dissertation. You can learn more about her on a previous episode from ABD to PhD show. And then I have a number of folks who are getting ready to defend here in the coming week or so. Again, it's phenomenal what we've been able to see folks do when they just lock in and they're ready to finish those dissertations. And so, as promised, before we wrap up the episode, I wanted to give you all just 5 lessons that I've learned from 2024 that I want you to take into 2025 to help you finish your dissertation quickly. And so, with that said, let's get into it. And excuse me, I want to read from my list. I wrote these down because I really was thinking about and reflecting on this past year about what could be helpful for you all that will get you all done. And so here are the top 5 lessons that I took from 2024 that I believe will help you in 2025 to finish. Lesson 1, the only way not to finish your dissertation is to stop working. I say this because as a doctoral student, a lot of us get confused and, are not sure of ourselves along the process. And what it causes folks to do is to stop working. But what I've learned over this course of this past year from all of our clients that have come through our Velocity Coaching program is that the ones who finish are the ones who never stop working. And with that said, you just have to be able to have your blinders on. You have to run your individual race. It's very hard if you're driving a car, right, to look over into the other lane, because at some point you're not going to be able to see what's directly ahead of you. And a lot of you all sometimes are approaching the process that way. And once you put your blinders on, now you can focus and start moving in a straight direction. And what will end up happening is that you just never stop working. You will finish, regardless if it is this year or next year. You will finish. Again, for our clients that work with us at Done Dissertation, over 76% finished within the first year of working with us, and 96% finished within 2 years. We know that folks have different, research methodology and things that might slow or speed up your process, right? So you will finish. It's just a matter of when, not if. So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two that you can take from 2024 into 2025 is I want you to get comfortable being in the season of no. You're a doctoral student. I know you're extremely busy. We all are busy, right? And as you've been going through the last year, you've probably let other things get in your way of finishing. I want to share this message with you that if you want to finish, now's the time to get into the season of no. And so I struggle with this myself because I'm someone I love to help people. That's why I have a business that helps people. I'm a college professor where I help people as an instructor. But I recognize that sometimes, and I'm actually in that season of no, where I have to really be mindful about what opportunities I take on. And so I want to share that with you from someone who's dealing with that myself. And so here's what I've implemented that might be helpful for you. I literally, when I get a request to do something, I really have to take a second to not answer on the spot and say, let me check and see if I can make this all work within everything I have going on and make sure I have the capacity because I want to do it to the best of my ability. Anyone that's in their right mind would be like, okay, no problem. And if they feel like and they're trying to pressure you, then it's a definite no, because you shouldn't have to rush to make a decision to do something just because of someone else. So maybe take that advice, implement it. And again, I'm someone who's constantly trying to improve, and that's one of my areas of improvement. And I just want to share that lesson with you because I think it's resonated with me so far this year. Now, the third lesson I want to give you that you can take from 2024 to help you with your dissertation in the new year is that 80% of the work you're going to do with your dissertation is around seeking clarity. 20% of the work that you're going to do is actual writing of your dissertation. We all go into the dissertation process thinking that the work is writing, sitting at the computer, typing, doing all those things. But I want you to know the actual work is up here first. That's where the dissertation happens. And then it just so happens once our thoughts are clear, what comes out of us in terms of onto our Word document or Google Doc is the result of the clear thinking up top. So what I want you to do in the new year is that you're always looking for clarity in your thought. And in order to do that, you're going to have to eliminate some things. This is why I talked about the season of no in my second tip. You're going to have to eliminate some things because you need the mental space in order to have the opportunity to get into clear thinking. What I found from a lot of our folks who are struggling is not because of the skill, it's because there's not enough, you don't have enough energy, mental energy in order to focus on your dissertation. So imagine, it's like the analogy I would give is imagine you're driving your car on E and you know you have 200 miles left on your trip, but your car is on E right now. And it says, if you don't get gas in the next 10 miles. And I know some of y'all be riding like this. I get it. I don't like to get that low. But I know some of y'all be like, shoot, I got 10. If get the 5, I'm still going to let this thing ride out because I got a little bit more. Right. And so it's like getting to that point where you have 10 miles left in gas, and you know you have a 200-mile trip and you go past the gas station and you don't refuel. Some of you all have approached and have so many other things going on in life. It's taking all of your energy. So literally when you go to show up to write your dissertation, you are on E. You have 5% of energy to give, where your dissertation is going to require 60, and you just don't have it. So you're going to have to remove things in order to get the clear thinking. Once you do that, the writing becomes easy. That's something that we can teach you. We have workshops dedicated to various things because we can teach you the skill, but we can't, and you can't execute the skill of writing if the thoughts are unclear or not clear in your head. It's a direct result. They're directly related. So if you find that you're struggling, it's probably because of the thought process, not because of the writing. But again, the writing is a skill and the skill can be taught. So I'll leave that there with you all. And so the fourth lesson that I'm taking from 2024 that I think can help you all in 2025 is that staying stuck where you are right now is a choice. I know that one might hurt, but staying stuck where you are is indeed a choice. Because when you figure out and recognize that you are stuck, you can either do something or do nothing. And so if you found that you've been stuck for a year or 2 years and you've done nothing, that means you've chosen to do nothing. You have an opportunity right now to say, I'm going to do something. That something could be very big or very small. The something for some folks might be, I need to make an outline of my chapter. Or something for some folks might say, hey, I may need to reach out to Done Dissertation to get some help because I'm stuck and I need support. something for some of you all might be, oh, I'm going to reach out to my chair and say, hey, here's what I'm going to work on over the holiday break. And here's what I'm going to have back to you in the new year. There's so many, things in between those, right? But I want you all to consider that and really take heed of that as you're going into the next year, because staying stuck is indeed a choice. I don't want you to be stuck where you are right now if you have a desire to finish your dissertation. So if you don't have a desire to finish, then stay where you are. It's not a problem. But if you keep saying that you want to finish and you're not willing to do something different, then you have made a choice to stay where you are. And I will leave it there. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that resonates with you on that particular topic. Because again, for you, it could seem harsh, but I'm only telling you the truth because I want you to win. And so that's where I'm coming from. I really want to see you all win in the new year. And now, the last lesson that I'm taking from 2024 that I think can help you and finish your dissertation in 2025 is that I want you to recognize that embracing fear is your first step to being done. You have to embrace fear. Some of you all fear sitting in front of the computer to type. Some of you all fear the feedback that you're going to get from your professor. Some of you all fear that you don't have anything you need to contribute. Whatever that fear is, think about what it is, right? But recognize that first facing it and conquering it is going to be your first step to being done. Because if you let that fear hold you back, you will not finish. And there's a saying I often like to say, and some folks may understand this, is kind of like this saying that fear is a mind killer. And it really will impact you. And so I want you all to have the mental space to write your dissertations. I don't want fear to be in the way. So if you're fearful for sending that chapter out, hit the submit button, hit that send button, send it to your chair. We have a previous episode on this show where I talk about how to respond to feedback. So like you don't have to be scared of it anymore. Again, I've given you the skill in order to respond to feedback. Now becomes you getting out of your head, out of the fear to then execute. But again, fear is something that's going to hold a lot of you back. And I don't want it to be you as you're watching this video, because we're 31 minutes into the video and I don't want you to be stuck when it's all the thing that's keeping you back is the fear of being successful. And I would say that a lot of times a lot of our clients are super duper type A. And I mean type A meaning they're high achievers. They've done everything really well. And what we found is that once they get through the first submission of a chapter to us for feedback, they start to roll because it just becomes part of the nature of what they need to do. They recognize like, look, I have to finish my dissertation, so I'm going to submit my work. That is going to be really important for you in the new year. And so with that said, I wanted to share those 5 pieces because I just felt it in terms of what I've been reflecting on over the course of the year to help you all get to the finish line. If anything has resonated with you, let me know. And if you are a doctoral student and you're like, I need help, I want to finish my dissertation in the next year, I would invite you to work with us on our Velocity Coaching Program. You can learn more about our program by going to www.velocitydissertation.com, or you can scan the QR code that is here on your screen. I want to see you all win, whether it's with us or not. I know we can't work with everyone. That's cool. I just want you all to get access to help somewhere. So again, and folks that tell you who reach out to us, if we can't help you, we have other partners that we collaborate with that we can send you to who might have a better, a better situation or a better setup that will be helpful to your specific need as a doctoral student. But so don't let you not having information be the key as to why you're not finishing. You have the insight, you have the information here. Make sure that you reach out to us so that you can get your dissertation done. And with that said, I want to say thank you so much for locking in with me over the course of this year. 2024 has been a blast. I'm looking forward to what 2025 brings. And with that, I'm looking forward to connecting with you all. I'm looking forward to connecting with your faculty. Now that we have the book finished, the finished system, this book is super dope. It's a great actual strategy for faculty. So I can't wait for faculty to get their hands on this so that we can help you and faculty at the same time to have just a great synergy to finish this thing quickly. But I just want to say thank you all so much. And thank you all for sharing our content. Thank you all for the messages, the DMs, the text messages. It really means a lot as someone who, started this company from an idea when I was finishing up my doctoral program to see what it's blossomed into, to have hundreds of doctoral students that we've helped in our program, to thousands of students that we've worked and helped with through our coaching program, our various social media platforms, and our workshops. I mean, it's nothing bigger than that. And so this is something I've been wanting to do as a researcher. I always want to take what I do as a researcher and implement into practice. And Done Dissertation is the epitome of that. And shout out to our whole team. Shout out to Renee, our owner and CEO of the company. And so if you come to inquire about Done Dissertation, you will talk with Renee and she will tell you all about the program. Shout out to Dr. Varela, who's one of our coaches at Done Dissertation. Shout out to Dr. Schlater, who is our dissertation editor. So if you're looking for editing services, she's one of our partners that we send folks to. Also, shout out to Carrie Henderson, who has been in charge of our marketing over the last 3 years. She's done a great job, and the things that you've seen here has been really instrumental in us moving things forward. And we have some new folks just come on recently. So shout out to Dr. Nantra, who is helping out with our content. And also shout out to Lafayette from Mulu Visions, who is in charge of our video editing. So super excited for the team. I'm super thankful for everyone. And thank you to all the faculty who have sent me their students and, taking, sent to us with care, and we gotten them through the process. Again, I just want to say thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to having an amazing 2025. And until next time, I wish you all a Done Dissertation. Take care and Happy New Year.